Hey everyone, welcome back to Pathfinders, a hiking podcast with Brian. I'm Brian Hudson, and today we're zooming in on backpack weight distribution for hikers 50 and up. Joining me is my colleague and friend Chad Welsh. Welcome, Chad. We spend our weeks helping hikers dial in fit, and one pattern is constant: how a pack carries determines comfort, balance, and energy. Today, we'll turn pro-fitting into simple trailhead steps so you hike farther with less strain and more confidence. Let's start with why distribution matters even more when you're 50 years old or older.
Thanks, Brian. It's great to be here with you. Past 50, strong hikers see changes with their bodies: a forward head and rounded shoulders, less ankle strength for balance, joints that ache from shearing forces, and slower recovery. Poorly placed weight exaggerates that, pulling you backward, overworking low back, and making knees and hips absorb sway. The first safeguard is right-sizing your total load. For day hikes, aim for 10% of body weight. For multi-day trips, cap around 15 to 20%, favoring the low end if you're newer, managing pain, or carrying extra water. With a sensible ceiling, placement then becomes the performance multiplier.
That makes a lot of sense, Chad. Once we trim the total weight and tame the sway, your stride becomes smoother and breathing becomes easier. Now, let's stack the deck by choosing a pack that helps do the work for us. For most in this age range, an internal frame pack with a real hip belt, adjustable torso, load lifters, and side compression is non-negotiable. Fit to back length, not just height. And remember, you want to secure the belt so it carries the lion's share of the load before you do any adjusting of the shoulders.
That's exactly right, Brian. Set torso length so the shoulder strap anchor sits just behind the top of the shoulder. Then position the hip belt. Center the padded wings over the iliac crest and tighten until it grips without pinching. The target is roughly 60 to 80% of the load on the hips. Next, snug your shoulder straps to remove any gaps, but don't lift the pack off the belt. Clip the sternum just below the collarbone to prevent splay while preserving easy breathing. Finish with light tension on the side compression straps.
Well put. When the belt is doing its job, shoulders become stabilizers, not hoists. Load lifters often flip the switch. Aim for roughly 30 to 45 degrees from shoulder to pack, and add a small pull to bring the bag closer so it doesn't act like a lever. With the chassis dialed in, packing comes next. Keep the heaviest items tight to the spine at mid to high in the bag, medium density around that core, and lighter, softer gear toward the bottom and outer zones.
This is how I look at it. Think of a stable column close to center. Dense items, water, stove kit, food canister, camera, belong near the back panel, not out front. Symmetry is huge and important for older hips. Keep the weight even on both sides to avoid a left or right lean. If bottles ride in side pockets, split them evenly. If using a bladder, keep it in the internal sleeve against your back. A simple day pack layout would look like this. Bottom holds light layers or a sit pad. Center near the back is where water, dense snacks, and camera should be placed. The top carries rain shell and mid-layer. Hip pockets hold map, sun protection, first aid, and quick snacks.
I like the map to hip pocket tip. Quick access prevents stopping cold and stiffening up. For backpacking, the system stays the same: sleeping bag and puffy at the bottom, then a food canister, cook kit, and water bladder tight to the back in the middle. Rain gear and insulation right up top for fast grabs. Tent poles can lash outside, and wet or smelly items should stay external. Use compression sacks sparingly so you don't create big, hard bricks. Finally, cinch side straps to pull mass inward and stop the sway. This will help spare the knees and lower back.
Terrain tweaks also help. On steep climbs, slide dense weight a touch higher and snug it toward your spine so the pack doesn't droop. On descents, drop that density slightly lower to reduce top-heavy tipping while keeping it close to the spine. Here are some great on-trail micro-adjustments to consider. If your shoulders start to ache, loosen the shoulders and retighten the belt. If the pack pulls backward, raise heavy items or add load lifter tension, pitching forward to lower the dense core. You want to choose capacity with care and discipline. 18 to 28 liters for day hikes, 40 to 50 for overnights, so space doesn't cause overpacking.
Those are some great tips, Chad. I'll add 2 more things to the list. First, trekking poles. They shift some of the load from the knees and hips to the arms, and they will also widen your base on roots or scree and act like anti-sway outriggers when the pack is dense. Second, here are some great comfort add-ons that are beneficial for mature shoulders and hips. Look for S-curved shoulder straps, padded hip belts with firm foam, and breathable back panels. If there is pain along the collarbone, aftermarket strap pads or a slightly wider sternum setting can diffuse some of that pressure without loosening the fit that keeps the pack from swaying.
Here are a few things to look for that need immediate attention. Tingling or numb hands often mean the sternum is too tight, or shoulder straps are compressing tissue. Open them a notch and recenter the belt. The hip bruising points to belt height or over-tightening. Reposition over the crest and spread the load. Lower back pain usually means that the weight rides too low or far from the spine. To correct this, raise dense items and add load lifter tension. If problems persist after a fit fix, reduce the total weight. Finally, lift the pack smart. Put the pack on a rock or knee. Slip in, and then avoid twisting under load.
Chad, I remember a client who thought she needed more core workouts. In reality, her food bag sat too low and a liter bottle was outside the pack. We shifted both near her spine, snugged the load lifters, and her back pain vanished mid-trail. Before we let folks go today, let's lay out a repeatable routine. Could you please walk us through a 5-minute fit and balance sequence that hikers can perform at the car or at home, including exactly how to set straps, place heavy items, and do a short walk test with micro-adjustments?
Absolutely. Here's a 5-minute routine. 1. For the pack. Put the densest items tight to the back panel at mid-pack. Center them and mirror left-right. Surround with mid-weight pieces. Pad the bottom and outer walls with light items. 2. Stage on a bench or knee. Slip in and tighten the hip belt first, centered over the iliac crest. 3. For the shoulders and sternum. Snug shoulder straps until they just touch without lifting the belt. Set the sternum a finger below the collarbone. Prevent splay and don't restrict your breathing. 4. For the load lifters, set about 30 to 45 degrees. Pull until the pack top just touches your shoulders. 5. Finally, conduct a walk test. Stroll 2 minutes. If you get sore shoulders, loosen then retighten belt. If the pack tugs at the back, raise or pull the dense weight closer to the spine. If it feels unstable, cinch the side compressions. Repeat until the pack feels comfortable.
That's terrific, Chad. It's clear and doable. I like the quiet pack cue. When nothing wobbles, each step costs you less energy. I'll add one check during that 2-minute walk. Check your posture. You should feel tall through the crown, ribs stacked over the hips, and your eyes on the horizon. If you're craning forward or arching hard to compensate, revisit step 4 and the core placement. Older hikers often discover that a 1-inch shift of food or water changes their whole stride. Give yourself permission to pause and tweak at the first viewpoint. The next few miles will repay those 90 seconds many times over.
Here are 2 refinements I like to include. For hip belt pressure, imagine firm hands on your hips. Secure, not crushing. If 2 fingers slide under the top edge without a problem, you're close. For load lifter angle, picture the strap pointing toward your ear. That lands near 30 to 45 degrees. Set the sternum so you can take a full nasal breath without straps creeping into your armpits. For hydration, keep a bladder against the back to keep it stable. With bottles, split them evenly and balance a lens, stove, or repair kit opposite any odd shape. Symmetry protects your gait.
That symmetry note fits perfectly with our coaching mantra. Balance buys endurance. As a quick recap before we sign off, keep total load age smart. Choose a pack that fits your back length. Let the hip belt carry most of the weight. Set shoulder straps to touch. Run load lifters at a shallow angle. And pack heavy, close, and centered. Use poles, compression straps, and the walk test to fine-tune everything. And choose capacity to prevent overpacking. Practice this on a neighborhood walk first, and then take it to your favorite loop. Thanks again, Chad, for being here with us today. This has been Pathfinders, a hiking podcast with Brian. Today we covered why distribution matters after 50. We set safe weight targets, chose packs that fit, and built a fit process. Hip belt first, shoulders to touch, sternum for comfort, load lifters at 30 to 45 degrees, and compression to quiet the ride. We outlined day pack and backpacking layouts, terrain tweaks, on-trail micro-adjustments, red flags, and a 5-minute routine to perform before every hike. If this helped, please share, subscribe, and leave a review. Until next time, folks, hike smart, stay balanced, and enjoy your hike.